I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. Pokemon Legends ZA, the new Pokemon Legends game from Game Freak and Nintendo, came out on the Nintendo Switch 2 very recently, and I've been playing it quite a bit. I like it quite a lot. It's got me thinking about my past with the Pokemon games, which is long and varied, and the last Pokemon game I played before Legends ZA was Pokemon Violet. Violet never really clicked with me. I didn't actually play it for all of that long. The more time goes on, the more I find that Pokemon's regular core loop of become the very best like no one ever was, catch all the Mons, get all the badges, beat the Elite Four, all of that has kind of lost its luster for me. In fact, as I think back through my history with the series, the games that I find that I clicked the most with are the games where the Pokemon Company has deviated from its regular formula to do something a little more interesting. Games like Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, Pokemon Legends Arceus, and now Legends ZA provide fresh takes on the franchise that I personally find a breath of fresh air. Fresh? They're fresh takes I find fresh. Fresh. What this seems to show is that when the Pokemon Company and Game Freak actually do something different with the franchise, I tend to find it rather engaging. The move away from random encounters in Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, the emphasis on stealth and the change in story format in Arceus, and the shift to exploring a single location rather than an entire region, and the shift away from turn-based combat in ZA are shakeups that make the series feel fresh. Fresh. I have to admit, the more focused, smaller, a lot less varied environmental map of Pokemon Legends ZA didn't really capture my interest all that much. It feels very monotonous after some time, but the shakeup to the combat is very much heartening. It plays in a lot of ways like Arceus, and Arceus was a game that I liked quite a lot. I put over 100 hours in Arceus, finished all of the missions, got all of my Mons up to level 100, beat everything in the game. For me, what clicked about Arceus was the focus on stealth gameplay, the more relaxed way that the game approached its core loop. ZA took a lot of what worked in Arceus, a lot of your stealthing, a lot of your ability to engage with Pokemon in the wild without getting into direct combat, and it also layered on a new real-time reactive combat system that factors in things like positioning of your characters and your Mons relative to the creatures you're battling. Navigating the environment has also been changed quite a bit. There's a lot of verticality that I don't remember being present in any of the other games. Maybe I just didn't play Violet a lot. Sure, you had a bird you could fly around on and you could climb mountains in Arceus, but it never felt like that verticality mattered quite the same way that it does in ZA. ZA shows that the Pokemon Company is willing to be experimental, and it's that experimental nature that I find compelling in Pokemon games these days. The Legends series seems to be what the Pokemon Company and Game Freak have decided to use as their experimental series. Legends being the first that really stepped away from the core loop and tried to be innovative. It fell on a lot of unflattering reviews, say the least, and ZA has gotten quite a bit of that as well, and I think a lot of the criticism towards it is justified. But to me, it felt fresh in a way that I haven't felt a Pokemon game feel fresh in a very, very long time. Fresh. I keep saying fresh. Is fresh a good word? A relay? Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Galar? Fresh. I guess. What that means is that I'm probably not going to engage with the Pokemon core games much. While I was an enthusiastic fan for the first two generation, while I was an enthusiastic fan of the series for the first two games specifically, the last core Pokemon game that I actually played through to completion was Pearl. X was the next that I attempted to play, but I actually quit on that one before I made it all the way through to the end, and every core Pokemon game that I've played since then has failed to really resonate with me. The experimental nature of the Legends series keeps sucking me back in, and I hope will keep sucking me back in, because I guess what you want with your miniature anime cockfighting simulator is sucking. Does that mean that I'm never going to endeavor to be the very best like no one ever was again? Maybe, maybe not. They've never quite recaptured the magic of playing those first few games for me. Pokemon Gold in particular holds a very special place in my heart. But the times where they really try to do something new and magical still draw me in. I'm probably going to pay attention to what the core series is doing from now on, but it's going to have to look really spectacular for me to actually try. Regardless, I do hope that Game Freak manages to recapture the magic of this franchise. Frankly, I'm not holding out hope for it. I think they're going to continue playing it safe, and they're going to continue making bland games as their core entries and interesting games as their spin-off series, and hopefully they won't sue me for saying that. Fresh. I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.